Okay, part two of actually what is part one of a three-part video. So I'm sorry when I uploaded my other video by mistake I erased it part one and part three. So here goes. So my first aid kit. So we'll start from the beginning. So my whole first aid kit is actually all these items, and they're separated, and so we'll go through the set on part three. We'll go through the second part, second pocket of this one, today we'll go mostly towards this one, but I wanted to show you also what I carry. So in the winter, my winter pack, I carry this new thing now. It's called the Snow Claw, and as you can see, it's not very big, you know, see, like compared to my hand. And basically, what you can do with that is emergency splint. You can use it as a shovel, but as well as a snow anchor. So obviously, it has multiple purpose, and it weighs nothing, and it goes very well in the pack. So, did have it, as you can see. Didn't have a chance to try it yet, but it seems like pretty promising, and so I considered that part of my first aid kit, because basically now I can do splint with that. So that's in my winter kit. As usual, I carry always my this, and this is basically, yes, it's the pants, or what we call a diaper, and it has multiple use. You can fire starters and things like that, and I'm probably going to do a video of all the things you could do as well. But mainly what I keep it is for if I would have a very long victim to transport. I mean, you need to pee at one point, so I could use that if the patient was like very unstable, not unstable, but you know, if you have a broken leg and stuff, and it would be very uncomfortable for them to walk and everything. You can put that on them, as well as physically, because it's so big, it can be used as well as a big abdominal pad and everything. So it can be used for a big dressing. And here, and it's, as you can see, it's all in a vacuum seal thing. It's just for purpose and to make it as thin as I can. And this is here is a SEM splint, and this is a regular emergency blanket, but I'm probably going to change for the Adventure Medical Kit one. I find by trying a few of them, they're much resistant and everything than those ones, and actually they're a little bit bigger as well, some of them, so I'm probably going to change that for that. So that's, as well as you have my little shelter, my body bag. That's a new bag that I bought. It's very smaller than it. And why I consider that for my first aid kit, especially like in the winter right now, not that today, because we have again Chinooks, but if it would be cold and everything, shelter has to be part of your first aid kit, and that's why also my survival kit is kind of part of my first aid kit, because part of it that I need to do a fire right now, or even if you have a broken leg and not even hypothermia, but if it's the winter, that means you need to start thinking about hypothermia, and especially here, even in the summer, when the sun goes down, it goes below zero right over here. So it's really important to have something for a shelter. And this thing, basically, I don't need anything, I don't need like trees or anything. I can literally make it where I am. This is my suction. So basically, as you can see here, big port. And all you have to do basically is press over here, and you can clear airway. So for those that do first aid kit, and again, if first aid course, and if you never had, please go and have some. Airway is the first thing, and so if somebody vomit or something like this, well then I can suction with those. So the little kit. So this kit basically is separate than my first aid kit, and basically what I carry in this one is the basic for ABC, so for the airway, the breathing, and the circulation. So exams usually are separate into your primary exam and your secondary exam. Your primary exam is that you want to rule out everything that can kill someone. And the secondary exam, for example, that can kill someone, but in a later thing. But if you have like a major bleed, if you're in cardiac arrest, well, you cannot be be more dead than cardiac arrest. But you see what I mean. So basically, this is what I carry, and this is always on the top of my pack. And the reason it's in the way of my pack is that if I get somewhere or somebody hurt themselves or something like that, I can grab that really quickly before I can. Because you never keep like your first aid kit very high, because you have like your jacket that you're going to wear and things like that. So this is not very down in my pack, but still pretty low. So I always carry this so then I can go straight to someone, start the first aid, and then get my first aid kit. And so it's a Pelican case, so basically crush proof and waterproof and the whole thing. And right from the start, pair of gloves. And then I got my new mask. Basically, this is pretty cool. So it's a little bit like a mount guard. And you put this in the mouth of the person, so like this. And then you use it as a device to breathe into them and stuff. And you still have to maintain their airway, so you still have to tilt their head and everything. But the cool thing with this is also you can use it like, if you put it over an eye, you could use it as an eye wash. So again, it has multiple purpose. And the advantage as well of this versus a pocket mask or regular mask is that, first of all, if I transport the victim, so for example, if you're in a search and rescue situation, this will stick in the mouth of the person. So you can move them and everything, and then when you come back, you can still move the person and bag. So if you get into a hard spot, you can still bag the person despite and not have to reposition your head and stuff. All you have to come back and is reposition your hands, and that's it. So it's quite an advantage versus the other one, as well as that a lot of time it's hard to produce a seal, especially if someone has like a big beard or something like that, or some facial. And this kind of bypass that because you're right into the mouth of the person, so you don't have to create the seal like the famous C and E. But because of this has to be held differently than a usual pocket mask. So basically, imagine that this is the face of the person. I put that in their mouth, and over here it's the nose. So basically, I pinch the nose, as you see with my hands, and then I can push my hands. But it's the different thing, because now the hair is going there, but if you're pushing hair, it's going to come out from the nose. So you have to pinch the nose and do this, versus try to hold that. So I find I didn't have a chance, I don't know if you should say a chance, but I didn't try it on real situation, but I carried it in my pack for a while now, and it's been at minus 30 and those are cold month. And the plastics, I don't know what they use for that or whatever, but the material stays flexible even in cold weather, which is a big plus, because anybody that ever carried a pocket mask in the cold weather, it is a pain to undo, because usually pocket masks kind of collapse on themselves and you have to undo them. And when I was ski patroller, it was a pain to undo them. So those are a great thing. They come as well with a little adapter here for one-way valve, and yeah, they're awesome. Over here I have a little kit that, so I have a face shield, another pair of gloves, sorry, and an NPA. So NPA, so nasal pharyngeal airway. So basically this goes through the nose all the way back and it opens your airway. So it's like an OPA, which is an oral pharyngeal airway. So instead of going through the mouth, it goes this. The reason I carry those ones, first of all, they're easier to put, because as you can see, I mean, you can, they're like little tubes, so you can flex them like that. Versus OPA are very hard piece of plastics, and you have to carry 10 of them because there's like different size of them and stuff. Versus those ones, you still have to size them, but you see how it's the bevel right here? So if this one would be too big, I just take my scissors, cut this, and now I can have it the size I want. So basically you take a big size, and this is for my size, which is basically would be the end of the whole size, because I would use the bigger Airway for OPA. Well, now you just have to cut the bevels as it comes. So great little system. So for that, and so now you can open an Airway. And as well, the other advantage of those ones is that even if the person is conscious, you can, even if the patient is unconscious, it can take this because it can go in through the nose. Versus somebody that's conscious and has a gag reflex, a lot of time they're gonna puke your OPA. So versus this, you can use even in a conscious patient, but that just want to maintain their airway. As well as you can see here, just laxity just to clean my hands or clean a surface, and as well as an aspirin for chest pain. The SWAT T tourniquet, awesome little tourniquet. It has multiple use, and basically, as you can see over here, it's a stretchy kind of thing. It's made of I'm not sure what it's made of, but it's like it's a very elastic kind of rubbery substance. And basically, as you can see here, what they explain is you leave from there and it goes from there. So depending how your signs looks, you know how much tension you have. So you can use it as a tourniquet, an elastic wrap. So for example, if you sprain or strain, or for splinting. So basically now this with my SAM splint. Now with my SAM splint, now I can make a splint. Also you can use it as a pressure dressing. So as most people know, you always try to do direct pressure. If that doesn't work, you do pressure dressing. And if that doesn't work, then you go for the tourniquet if you can stop a bleeding. So basically now I got 2 or 3 use of this thing. And I'm pretty sure like if it would be rubbery, then also you can have like a survival use of it. You can burn a piece of it if you would have to start a fire, if you wouldn't want to make smoke to be foul. I'll put a link of for the video of how to put those tourniquets and stuff like that. So they're pretty cool. I didn't have a chance to try them yet in the cold. So this winter has been kind of a funny weather. So we've been waiting for the snow, and when it comes, then it goes, and then it comes and goes. But I wanted to see like if in the snow if it still keep his adrenaline, because they say that you can put it with one person, stuff like this. So this is my SWAT. And then my tension pneumothorax needle, as well, it has different you cannot use for starting an IV. This is not to start an IV. Those are huge, and all they are for is to decompress chest, and I can use them as well for some airway, other stuff, which I won't show here. But basically, this is the needle, so it's for the B and ABC. So if you have pneumothorax, then I can do something about it. Hemostatic clamp. So basically it's just like so it's kind of an alligator clamp, and then basically it holds as a breakdown and it holds it like that. So different purpose. Little light. So basically just break down, and so if it's in the night and stuff, at least I'll have a little bit of light to see some sign stuff. I also have a little flashlight, but this is more for neuro exams and stuff, and so it fits very well there. I have the Squirt S4, the old model, where basically it's a bunch of scissors, and so basically I can use the scissors to cut the clothes and stuff, and as well as that's the tool I used last time to make a pair of glasses. So basically they have multiple uses as well. And Fresno's lens, again to check for different cuts and stuff like this, as well as you can start a fire with this. So again, that's survival and stuff like that. So this was in that little kit, and we'll do part 3 where we'll go on the other sides of this bag.